Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Thule RV wheel levelers. And this is going to be a great option for when you're out on the go in your camper and where you're planning to camp isn't quite level. And this is going to be a quick and easy option to drive up on there and level it out. So here we actually have our leveler, and the great part is there's multiple different levels. So if you want to fine tune, adjust your leveling of the vehicle, whether the terrain might be a little bit off one wheel or the other, that's no problem. And in fact, this lowest one here, we have 1 3/4 inches. It then goes up to 3 inches, then 4.5, and then overall height, where we have our stopping plate here, is going to be 5 3/4. So not terribly tall, but just enough to adjust it. Now the overall length is going to be 22 inches, so that's going to accommodate some of your larger diameter tires. It's also going to be 7 5/8 inches wide, and so even if we're putting it on the front, which is a larger tire here, or even on the dually in the rear, it's not going to give it too much problem because it has support throughout the whole thing. It's very solid. It is made from heavy duty plastic, but rated at 10,000 pounds, I'm not too worried that these are going to break. And they're also UV resistant, and they're not really going to break down over time. They're going to be with you, especially when you keep them in your storage bag, in your storage compartment, and that way when you're at the campsite, you can bust them out and they'll be ready to go. So now let's go ahead and put them to the test. Now, we're here in the parking lot of eTrailer, but this is to simulate any place that you might be camping. In fact, a lot of campgrounds aren't as maintained as they should be, leaving you with an uneven surface, or if you're off the grid, you never really know what surface you're going to be at. Either way, having a level surface where you actually make your camp at is pretty crucial for the comfort of the people inside and just overall stability of the vehicle. So as you can tell from the angle of our camper, we're leaning quite a bit, and we need to fix that to make sure that we have a good camping experience. So to get our RV back to a level form, we'll take our leveler and we can place this here in front of our rear tire. And this is a dually here, and that's going to be no problem as well because this is nice and wide to support wider tires. So we have this one in place, and we'll go put the leveler in the front, and we'll pull up and get this thing leveled out. Now we're doing this to kind of level our camper from the side to side, but if you were uneven on the back or the front, you can simply use them in a pair in the front or the back or the side, whatever makes it level for you. My leveler's in place. I'm going to just pull forward, and we're going to be going up each step until we determine the perfect leveling spot for where we need to be. And that's the great part, is there's multiple steps depending on how much we need to actually adjust it. So let's pull forward. Now for this step, it might be helpful to have a spotter to make sure that those levelers are staying planted, but also just to see how level the RV is. It's kind of hard to tell when just being in the driver's seat here. So having an extra set of eyes to see the vehicle actually level is definitely going to help. Now once you're actually on the levelers and you're happy with the level that you're at and everything looks good, highly suggest putting your parking brake on. That way it's not going to roll, and then you're ready to actually start using your camper in a nice level playing field. Now here inside the camper, I can actually walk around knowing that the ground is level. I'm not going to be swaying to one side or the other, and also as I move side to side, the suspension of the vehicle moves, but it feels extremely planted. And the great part about those levelers they're actually rated to 10,000 pounds per leveler. So they're going to be really strong, especially with a heavier vehicle. And also they're nice and wide to create a nice planted spot on the ground. So it does give you that secure feel. So once you're done with your wheel levelers, you can actually just back off of them, and it comes with a storage bag to fit both of them in there, and that way you'll always have them with your camper, and they're going to stay nice and clean and protected in that bag. And that was a look at the Thule RV wheel levelers.